it's been bastardized in this online underground community to kids just think, oh, the producer is the guy that made the... Oh, God.
Real FERM. He's the realest.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Real FERM Podcast. Oh, my. Oh, you didn't clip. That was good. Thank you for joining and listening and watching. If you're just watching, listen on the platforms and rate and review. If you're just watching, if you're just listening, try watching as well. I don't know. Everything connects. Anyway,
it's all intertwined.
This one, it's another one. If you've seen the I think it was 16. We talked about what the philosophical, psychological. What makes a song good kind of thing, which was based on an essay I wrote.
That rhymed.
Well,
the philosophical, chronological, microscopical.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I in the shortly after that, chronologically, I started writing another essay back several months ago because I noticed a pattern. This is all about the term producer in the music industry, and because I've seen it's used very widely, and it seems like not a lot of people quite understand what it is. I'm trying to demystify, if you will.
That term right there is looser than a girl on Nebraska Avenue walking around with a bikini.
We got
all right.
Garth Brooks or something,
you know,
some kind of country star over here.
You put on the country hat. The country hat puts you on. That's what it happened right there. All right, I'll stop. Gotta make fun, you know.
Of course, lighthearted. Anyway, yeah. So this is particularly for the audience of newer musical artists' journey, starting their journey, especially if it's all, which is mostly what it is in terms of proportions, just being online, seeing things, doing things all remotely, and working with people remotely, getting beats and all that. And what?
Sorry. You said new. That reminded me to tell you that Florida slang of the day, green means new. Oh, so when someone's green, that means
Florida.
They're new.
I don't think that's
Florida.
Not Florida?
Well, we use it over here.
Well, yeah, that's green. Yeah. Fresh, like the green grass.
The more you know. Do. Now back to the show.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you're green to the industry, producer is a very vague, strange term. And well, it actually, it's very logic. It's exactly what it means. To make a product, a producer assists in the formation of a packaged product at the end. And in the music industry, it has been bastardized.
Not even just that. Someone will be like, I'm a producer, and all they do is they make a little beat. Or they're an engineer, and they're like, I'm a producer, and they mix and master. Or they're like, they're fucking all this shit.
We're jumping ahead.
Oh, FERM, please. Yes, tell me.
Well, this is what it started from. So, like you just said, the people. The term is very. It has a reputation of, especially from like Hollywood, which is any kind of entertainment arts productions. The term the producer is especially, or executive producer. Mm-hmm. It's a very esteemed title. Yeah. So that's what you were trying to get, where you were starting to get at. People like to Anyway, why I started thinking about this was because in the SoundCloud and the YouTubes, and you see a lot of the prod this, whoever, so and so. Right. So what got me to thinking was I started seeing like people recording. Say you got Prod Wooden Table Boy.
Yeah.
And Lil GoPro makes a song with the free Table Boy beat. that was produced by Table Boy. Okay, look, actually, I forgot. I meant to say this earlier. This is not at all. I'm not trying to take away the title from people that make beats. When you make beats, you're producing a beat. You're definitely a form of producer. There's nothing wrong with using the term. I'm not saying that's not what I'm addressing. I'm addressing the interpretation of green artists and how they think about it. And so, what did I say? Lil GoPro makes a Lil GoPro makes a beat on a little Prod Table Boy's beat. Records the vocals himself, mixes it or whatever, uploads it and says, whatever song produced by Prod Wooden Table.
Yeah.
And Wooden Table just made the beat remotely. Probably won't even know that song exists. He did not produce the song. He produced the beat that was used by an artist that then produced a song around it. The final product. So ultimately, what I'm seeing is in the underground community, especially because on a professional level, it's a whole different thing. And in the underground community, it seems that kids are associating the producer means the one who makes the beat is the producer, not just is the producer, which is a broad misconception.
Such a broad term
That but using it in that form, and that's what it's fostering. And again, I'm not trying to take away the title from beat producers. That's what you're doing, a form of production, 100%.
But if you call yourself that, listen to this man, and he'll tell you the underlying meaning. Because producer don't just mean that. Producer can mean many things.
Producer means a lot of things, but overall, it's simple. You got the artist and a producer. Those are the two most general terms. The artist is the one with the mostly creative. They're writing lyrics, they're writing melodies, they have this idea, and then generally a producer comes along and says, I like that idea, come into the studio, let's bring it into a final product.
Yes.
Artists can also be their own producers, and
Absolutely.
Producers can also be their own artists. It can overlap all the way. But so what
the beat maker is more of when you do all the paperwork to who worked on the song, all of the song trade, song trust, excuse me, you do all of those different types of things. They're labeled producer, but 90% of the time it's like whenever you have a hard rock song.
Is that what happens?
So
I'm
getting
registry?
there. I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
'Cause that's
But it's like whenever you have a rap song and they say it's a rap song, whether it's J. Cole rapping it or Lil Pump rapping it, there's differences in it, right? So technically, what most of these beat producers are actually composers. They're musical composers. But
which is an artistic form in itself.
I think what it boils down to, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead here or not, but
a little bit, but go ahead.
But what it really boils down to, I think, is it was started to be used as this, but it really wasn't this, and so it's just the ease of the term PROD.
Yeah, it's a colloquial use, and language evolves, and terms change. That happens. It's normal. It's fine, but there's a key difference between these things that most underground online people are kind of twisting the meaning, and it's not that it's bad. I don't think it's harmful. It's just it can be.
I do.
What I'm saying is I'm not saying stop using the term producer if you just make beats. Not at all. In fact, you are a producer. So let's go. Let's rewind the tape.
Yeah.
To analog, literally rewind the tape. Before digital, all that. There's a band. They go in. They write a song. They rehearse it in their garage. There's no beat. The beat is the drummer and the guitarist and then there's a lead singer. Just say a rock band, whatever. You go into the studio, and the producer is the man at the studio, head of the studio, making sure the microphones are on.
The engineering right there.
Engineering, yep, that goes into it as well. Now it's that. Hold on, we're getting ahead of it.
Sorry.
And Yeah, and the idea of the producer is to take the artist, musicians, the band's work, and to make sure everything's running smoothly, make sure it gets into a cohesive recording, mixing and mastering. Especially in those days, this is all done. There's no beat, there's no beats. You don't create, like, it's all done with instruments. And the producer's ultimately the person, like on a film set. The producer's sitting back watching everything happen, saying, wait, no, that they're focused on the details and the making it come to fruition while the talent does their job.
Yeah.
And
isn't the producer on like film stuff? Isn't he just the one like supplies the bread? Like he just he pays for it and shit like that?
That happens in music too.
The executive producer is the person that funds it.
Yes, because you're helping in the production process. You're funding it. You can be 100% credited as a producer for funding something.
Yeah.
Because you help produce the product, which is the final song or movie or television show.
It's such a disconnect. There's so many ways you could be a producer.
That's why it's been bastardized in this online underground community to kids just think, oh, the producer is the guy that made the. Oh God damn.
Continue.
We're still good. Yeah, they're just the person that makes. That's just what is it?
No, it's not.
It looks
We're
clear.
gonna pause.
Okay.
We're gonna pause.
Yeah, I was just going back to the main point.
It's just so convoluted. There's just so many different titles that are used.
So the average, it seems to me, based on like doing the live streams and seeing these underground, and it's like the young kids and whoever's just new getting into it. They see producer this, producer that, and to credit to like, and not everyone does this. Like I think most people realize the difference, kind of, but the person that made the beat is a producer, but they're producing beats. The production of the song is completed with you or whoever is finalizing the mix and balancing it. The only way you're not a producer, so say you're just the artist, you buy studio time, there's a producer there.
Yeah.
There's a hot mic. They go, all right, go do your thing. Yada, 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 rap, rhyme, leave, maybe do a couple takes, you leave, that's it. You're just the artist. It's your song, you wrote it, but it's produced by the person that pressed the buttons and did the mix.
Yeah, and then if you go in the other line where it's like the producer is the person that's funding it, if I'm paying for the studio time, then I'm technically the producer. You see how convoluted?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, that gets in. That's more like high level stuff. Like in movies, when people put funding down and they have a producer credit, that's more for like their resume and stuff, which is whatever. That's more like elite Hollywood shit. But in terms of music, like say, so. A beat producer can also be can produce the whole song. Like say somebody sends you a beat and you're like, awesome, I'm gonna record over this. You record your vocals and then send it back to them, and then they mix it.
Yep.
They mix it into their beat, and then they would be the whole producer of the song.
That's what I'm on the same page with you. So
it's possible to have that happen remotely. It's not like impossible, but this whole remote online bedroom producers thing that's been going on, which is cool, which is awesome that the technology allows us to do that. But it's bastardized the term to people who don't really know what it means, and they just think person made beat equals producer of the song.
Yeah.
When they most of the time the producers of the beat have nothing to do with the final song. They just the beat that they made is in it.
Now,
is most of it. Is a lot of it.
I knew someone that anytime there'd be an introduction, this person had many titles, but barely made any beats. Right. So whenever
you don't have to make beats to be a producer.
I know, but in the music sense, whenever you're introducing yourself as a producer.
That's what.
The general thing is I make beats, and then it gets very confusing when like, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a producer. Oh, let me hear some beats. Oh, actually, I don't have any beats. So then it's like, what? Well, why would you say you're a producer
that's
then?
Like Rick Rubin.
Even though, exactly. But like, even though they aren't technically wrong in saying that thinking that the beat production is the producer, but it's a very weird in conversation whenever they're like, "Hey, I'm a producer," but the general consensus is actually wrong in their thinking.
Yeah, it's not well defined, and
No,
because
it's not.
it's such a vague term, it just means to produce to make a product.
Yeah.
The artist is the creative force or origin of the idea, and then the producer comes in and says, "Let's make this into a product, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to get your vision aligned to something that is for the consumer to
You're my
enjoy."
producer.
I mean, I'm much more of a producer than I'm an artist. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is my producer.
So let's think about like giving a good analogy of we touched upon like film and stuff, but like in this setting, the podcast.
Yeah.
We don't. I'm the producer of this podcast. I set up the cameras. I press record. Well, you help me a little bit with that. I edit it.
Well, damn.
I upload it. You have a co-producer title of a sense.
I am a producer. He's executive producer. How about that?
Sure, yeah. But Joe Rogan, young Jamie, he's the podcast producer.
Oh, shout out Jamie.
He's awesome. All Joe has to do is get in the podcast studio, sit in his chair, and he's like, "All right, we ready? Go." He speaks on the mic. Jamie takes care of all the technical stuff. And then Joe walks out, and it's uploaded. He doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah. Oh, quick little thing about Jamie, though. I don't think that there would be a Joe Rogan podcast without Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
At
There's
all.
a whole history behind
I've
that.
never seen. I've watched a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts before, and I've seen a lot of other podcasts. How quick he is, how efficient he is.
Yeah.
How he only talks when it's necessary, which I'm still trying to do. I'm learning. Sorry for him. But it's very.
He's not a co-host. He's just the producer.
He's the producer, but he plays his role so efficiently. If anyone is like, I want to be a producer of anything, like when it comes to podcasting and stuff like that, please look to Jamie. Hopefully Jamie will see this. Jamie is amazing.
That would be wild, but yeah. So like, and then you bring that analogy back to music. So it's like. If we had a producer that was turning on the mics and getting all the footage and the audio and putting it together, editing and uploading,
Yeah.
we would be the artists and they would be the producer. That's
the goal.
Yeah, that's ideal. I'd love to have that,
Yeah,
but that costs money. So when you go
money
back,
that we don't have because we're broke. So Jamie, if you see this, no, I'm playing with you. Just
Jamie Vernon, that's his name.
That's his name, bro.
I just remembered.
I swear he is just. I've seen.
He's living
clips.
a great life. Shout out to him.
Shout out Jamie, bro. Like, we're grateful to have you.
Yeah. So that's it's just an interesting analogy I thought of because that is what we're doing. But yeah, so most like young artists and underground artists, they're doing what we're doing here, but with music. They're making a beat, they're recording their vocals, they're mixing it, the entire production process is them. It may be someone that helps them, but yeah, going back to the person that makes the beat, it's a vast oversight to take someone's beat, record your vocals, have it mixed and mastered by someone else or yourself, and then say produced by whoever made the beat.
You're the
doesn't
composer.
That's not what that means.
It makes the most sense to call yourself a composer
as a beat
maker.
Well, no, yes, but I'm not. That's what I said at the beginning. I'm not trying to take away from that title.
No, not taking away.
So look at it like this. When you make a beat, because I've done it before, you make a beat, you put in you're making art very artistic. You're basically you're a vocal artist, but instead of vocals, you're using samples.
Yes.
And you're arranging them, and you're making melodies, and like, oh, this sounds cool. Let me put this here. You're arranging, you're composing 100% digitally. And then, but they're also doing so. Like theoretically, you could have a beat artist and then a beat producer that's like, make this sound like this, and then the producer says, okay, gotcha, boom, 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 okay, now turn that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the ideas come from the artist, the technical things come from the producer, but most beat producers do both of those things.
So when you submit a song through DistroKid, you don't put them under as producers. Actually, you're supposed to put them
You shouldn't,
as musical composers.
Yeah.
Actually, And when you go to
100%.
ASCAP or BMI, look me up. Rockstarliiife 1 more 3 eyes. Jamie, that'd be nice. No, just if you hate it, you hate it. Just let me know. Anyways, but whenever you, I just want him to hear it. That'd be cool. How cool would it be for him to hear one song and see this episode? That'd be awesome. Even if he didn't like it, we'd be grateful. Anyways, so when you like actually do the paperwork and stuff like that, you don't put the producers, the beat producers. As producers, you put them as musical composers or instrumental or beat. There's a beat composer section sometimes. Yeah, so it's a whole thing where like if all of these things, because there's another side of it that you might not be thinking of actually. So when you go submit to ASCAP and BMI and everything like that, nothing is at 100%. You don't do 100% of royalties and stuff like that. It's 200% actually. So, which is, of course, it gets fractionalized to 100%.
Yeah, I was about to say it doesn't make any
because
mathematical sense.
You have to think about it as 2 pie graphs.
All right.
Right.
Let's not get too deep into the monetary.
Well, no, because it is monetary in the music game, though.
Right.
So the producer is the financial side, and the composers and the musical aspects and the artists are the other pie graph. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't even think, because I'm not really. I've worked with you putting things through there, but I haven't done that myself. So, but yeah. The producer is a technical. So what I mentioned Rick Rubin earlier.
Yes.
He doesn't really make beats at all. Or he's even said like he doesn't play any instruments. Like he's musically gifted in the way that he can hear things and like know what's cool, like what he thinks is cool, and it just resonates with people. He goes into the room. I mean, I don't literally know what he does because I've never been in the room with him. But a producer is at the professional level. They can be making 100%. They can be making the beat. But then they're also saying, like, get on the mic, record that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, do that one more time because this didn't sound right here. Okay, boom, got it. Come in the booth. Okay, you see this? Oh, do you want that to sound like that? Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I don't know. Maybe do it one more time. Yep. Okay. And then the artist just goes along with, they're giving their ideas, and the producer's giving ideas back, but the producer is crafting it with the final product in mind, saying, this is what you want it. I know this is, I'm trying to make your vision to life.
Yes. Rick Rubin, like people like that are outstanding on the fact that they come into that aspect of, they take the artist out of the artist mindset and they put it into the consumer mindset, and they like Rick Rubin in one of, I don't remember what interview it was, but he said something in one of the interviews where he was like, oh, I just come in there and I know what I like. And I know it sounds good, so I'm going to push for that to sound good and to be something that I like. You know what I mean?
It's from the other perspective, where the artist...
a
lot of times when artists are producing their own music, it's easy to like fall into a rigid, like, this is the way I do it, this is the way I do it, and you end up making a very similar sound over and over again. And it's not that it sounds bad, it just becomes... repetitive.
Repetitive. It's repetitive. That's why if you ever, if you ever watch this, all of my songs sound different because I love my versatility. All right,
that's actually true. Yeah.
You know, so back to the actual thing. I just had to talk to Jamie real quick.
Shout out Jamie.
Shout out Jamie.
But yeah, so that's, like, I don't know. I'm looking at more. Like I had the whole. Whatever.
If y'all could see this,
this is just the summary. The actual
can you put this doc on?
No, it's not finished. This is a ChatGPT summarization.
So
I think we covered most of what I wanted to say. Audio engineering.
Oh wait, hold on. I have to say this for the people that are. You won't be able to see what I'm looking at. How many pages is that?
Not as long as the other 6.
6 pages. So he has 6 pages in Google Docs as a summary. This man is a genius.
Okay, well.
First and foremost. So take his word for what it is, because what it is what it is.
Well, hey, let me admit that I'm not like I've never been in a I've been in a professional studio, but I've never been a professional music producer like in a professional sense. So I don't. I just know I've just studied things and I've taken a lot of info and I analyze it because I'm just a natural analyst.
Well, before you go on to the next thing, I'll tell you as an artist, whenever I hear or anyone that's in the music industry type of thing, as soon as we hear producer, the first initial thing that we think of is the beat maker, the beat composer.
That's
the melody. The
underground online scene has created that.
Not even just that. Let's say like even Post Malone sees this shit. I bet you he thinks the same thing.
Well, he's been in the professional scene for many years.
Playing.
He knows what he's talking about.
I'm only saying that because I'm wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh, yeah, right on. When he first started out, I'm sure that was... Because that once SoundCloud, like... Because again, like we were saying earlier, the term producer has an esteemed history to it because of the Rick Rubins and the people of the past, but none of them really made beats. They were just assisting in bringing the product to life.
Well, if I make
they produce a beat, and then I don't know how it started, but just like we're the producers.
Well, so another term that's very general, but in the music industry has been enclaved into one aspect of the process: engineer. How many engineers are there? There's electrical engineers. There's all those other engineers. I can't think about it right now.
Yeah, mechanical, audio, which is what we're talking about.
Audio engineers and stuff like that, which has a very wide range of things. But whenever like we say an engineer in the music aspect, we think about the mix and the master.
Well,
that's what we think of.
That is a term that is actually very well defined.
That's what I'm saying. So engineer and producer are both very loose terms. In the general sense of producer.
Sure. I'm saying the audio engineering is a very specific thing that you can really describe.
Oh yes.
It's working in the DAW.
Yes, absolutely.
These frequencies sound harsh together. Let me EQ them out. This sounds better compressed. This sounds better expanded. Mm-hmm. This sounds better with reverb. That's audio engineering.
Yes.
And they overlap. There's people that just identify as audio engineers. They don't want to get into the again, production is the zooming out the big picture idea. So audio engineer is a part of that, and you can be both.
Here's the convoluted part too. A lot of times, whenever like I'm in the studio or something like that, or another artist in the studio, the engineer will take the beat and they will like take this section. If I slow this section down at half speed,
fuck with the beat a little bit.
Boom, boom, boom. So in that instance, they're in the realm of producer. So it's like convoluted in the fact so not in the audio engineering part, but I was saying in the general sense of just the term engineer, where engineer can mean anything is the same as the general sense of producer, where producer means one thing here, engineer means something here.
I still think producer is much more vague than engineer.
I believe so as well. I'm saying that's the closest thing that I can think of that are like
I get what you're
kind
saying.
of the same page, but not really.
I get what you're saying.
If you look at it.
But let's. So this is. I did a ChatGPT inquiry.
OpenAI.
Define the term producer in the music industry. I won't read the whole thing, but let me just summarize. In the music industry, a producer refers to an individual or team responsible for overseeing and guiding the creative and technical aspects of a recording, often from the initial idea to the final product. They play a pivotal role in shaping the sound and direction of a musical project, whether it's a song, album, whatever. Their responsibilities can vary widely, and they typically work closely with artists, songwriters, musicians, and engineers to achieve a desired musical vision. Key roles: pre-production planning, studio direction. During recording sessions, producers guide musicians and vocalists to achieve the desired performance. Hey,
Rick Rubin.
You project more on that note. It'll sound
good.
Like that kind of stuff.
Fucking Tim used to do that greatly.
Yeah, arrangement and composition. Producers can contribute to the arrangement of a song. Like, I think it's just giving ideas from an outside perspective. Sound design and engineering, they work closely to achieve desired sonic qualities. Musical direction, post-production and mixing, editing and polishing, collaboration, budget and schedule management, and A&R, artist and repertoire, Like there's so many roles and things. The term producer is so fucked. Nobody really understands what it means. It's such a weird term, but at the same time, it's so esteemed that people want to call themselves that.
Yeah, but it's so like
you got to earn the
broad.
title with credits. I think that's where that comes from.
Going back to the person I was talking about that like would introduce themselves as a producer.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different things that producer can mean, it becomes confusing. And first impressions are everything. When you're making beats on YouTube, different because you looked up producer and shit like that, right? Completely different. When you're in the studio, you want a producer, even though that's not technically the correct term for it and all that other jazz. But when you introduce yourself as a producer, I would say I want to say in the music industry, it should be on the same lines as doctor. You have to earn it. You have to learn your craft. You have to do double things. You think that a ear, nose, and throat doctor, right?
ENT.
An ENT cannot just do your ears, but they can also do your nose and throat, right? So,
sure.
And mouth or whatever the fuck. So a producer is in the same line of that where they don't just do one thing. They don't just make the beats.
Yeah.
They do a lot of
100%.
other things.
But again, if not to take away from
No.
don't stop calling yourself prod whatever. I mean, that's the norm. It is what it is.
Don't
it's
do
fine.
that. Just understand that it's honestly societal misguidance.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's understandable. I'm just here to it's just an interesting conversation to have. And another thing when you're saying when you introduce when you earn the title,
You gotta earn it.
For example, I'm producing this podcast. I don't walk around saying I'm a podcast producer because it's not big. It's not whatever.
Well, not even that. Then someone would think that, oh, well, you're behind the scenes. You're not in front of the camera.
But I am producing the podcast.
Yeah, literally.
And I've produced my own music demos. I don't say I'm a song producer. I am fluent in the language of mathematics from my degrees. I don't say I'm a mathematician. You can. The title, if you're gonna put it on your resume or tell someone within the industry, you should probably have the credentials to back it up. That being said, plenty of people do the fake it till you make it kind of thing, which kind of works sometimes.
I had a conversation with some random person. Sometimes random perspectives, they heed the most gems. So I dropped a music video where I made the beat, I wrote the song, I mixed and mastered the thing. I filmed it by myself by just putting a tripod up there.
Self-produced.
I did everything myself, right? So you know what the credits? I overdid it in the credits. So I did literally all those things. I was like, written by Rockstarliiife 143 Eyes. Mixed by Rockstarliiife 143 Eyes.
True.
Edited by Rockstarliiife 143 Eyes. Fucking filmed and all the other jazz, right? So someone was like, "Why don't you just say by you? That's just too much. It seems like you're being arrogant for the sense, right?" And I didn't think about it, and now it's the same thing with. It's going back to producers, right? A producer, in that sense, I produced that product, but I'm not going to say I'm a producer though. I'm just going to say it's by me.
Yeah.
So there's a completely different way to go about saying, "Hey, this product was made this way," or some shit like that.
It can be, it all comes down to the way you want it to come across and the way you want it to be received. But yeah, just closing, bringing it back around. In this day and age, especially because on Spotify, there's no song titles that say, whatever prod and then the beat maker.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah, because that's not how the industry works.
You're literally.
But in SoundCloud, there's a lot of people saying produced by the person that made the beat, and they never even seen the song.
Well, so you're not actually. They won't put your song out if you do that. I know you know that, but people at home, they might not know. If you have a beat that we're on the bottom, it says, well, you can use the song, but you have to say produced by, and they have it on Spotify. They're not allowed to say produced by in the title. It has to be in the credits.
Yeah, because it just doesn't make sense. But I get that. Then again, I get like more power to the beat producers. Like it's a good way to get your name out there and like kind of give that brand of like shout out Blackwell makes great beats.
Oh my
Prod
God, I love you, Blackwell.
All good. Like you're producing the beats. It's great. But you wouldn't. But like when you make your overthinking, you can't put Prod Blackwell in the title.
No, not allowed to.
But when you do it on SoundCloud and YouTube, he wants you to do it so that it's like because he's a small producer, a beat producer, and he wants his name to be on the label because you're using it for free when you use it for free on YouTube and SoundCloud.
Well, not even just.
So I get that.
Not even just that. Like if you use my art that I created, I want credit. Because I made it, you didn't make it.
Credits are very important.
And so, like Blackwell, for instance, like I made sure, like, hey, I want to give you a percentage of this song. Hey, I want to make sure these credits are aligned with everything that's right. Hey, I want you in this thing, boom, 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 boom. Because people like that he literally produced the beat.
Yeah.
Then I produced the song.
Mm-hmm.
There's different levels. There's all these other things, and there's no hierarchy of it at all. The levels are all right here. It's all timeline based.
Yeah.
There's no song without this. Okay, I could write a song and then find a beat for it. Well, I produced the song, and then he produced the beat. Or no, I could produce the lyrics, and then he produced the beat. Then someone else produces the song. There's like a whole thing.
This is why, it's why people just say people want things to be simple, so they just go with the whatever simplest, and that's why this kind of thing happens. But I'm the kind of person that critically thinks about things in a very deep way when I'm alone, and this is the stuff I start thinking about, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. So that's why I bring this stuff up, because it's a very interesting conversation to have.
It's very strange.
And it's important.
It's important because going back to the timeline thing, now that I said it, it's literally like produced the beat. Someone produced the beat. Another person produced the lyrics. Another person produced the mix. Another person produced.
They're all individual productions.
But they're all individual, and they do not work unless they all work congruently. I don't want to say collectively.
They add up to one single production.
Exactly. So that adding up to the one single production, whatever force adds all of those productions up to a single product, I feel like that is the producer.
Yeah, but sometimes there isn't one person behind all that,
Absolutely.
Especially in the underground, where just it's like grassroots movement kind of thing. But on the professional level, you got one king at the I don't know why I said that, but one person behind the scenes, like really thinking about the whole thing. That's the producer. That's the executive producer, whatever you want to call it. Very weird term. I hope we helped some people understand if they didn't already. Or
this was like a podcast on a tangent that we both agree on. That's like, what the fuck is it?
I wrote a whole essay about it.
I know, bro. Listen, this man is smart beyond belief, and listen, he's great.
I've been told.
I make sure I remind him every day now how smart this person is right here, because if you could see what I saw right there. Hopefully you will release that soon.
I have,
When it's
I have to write,
When it's done.
I could like post it on, but what are these, Tumblrs? I don't know.
You know, you write a book with all these essays,
or
baby.
just a book.
That would be a great thing.
I need more life experience in the field before I finalize, but it's a good starting point.
That's what I'm here for, baby. That's what I'm here for.
Take me for the ride.
I got you. Listen, I don't have the cowboy hat for nothing, baby. I got it. We going on a ride on a seahorse.
Seahorse?
On a seahorse. We going across the Atlantic. We going across that pond right there. Yes, sir, we are. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, it's been good times. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you're still listening, shout out to you.
Yeehaw! Let me comment yeehaw at the bottom if you like this one right here.
I'd probably say like 1%, maybe less than that, listen through the whole duration.
At the moment.
Shout out to
y'all that watch this thing though all the way through when it comes out, but also shout out y'all 2-3 years down the line that are still watching this and are just going through with the trickle effect right there. I really appreciate y'all, because we might not got a lot of views right now, but we all working towards something now, aren't we?
Yes, sir. Leave a like, leave a comment, rate, review, all that good stuff. See you next time. Peace. Hope you enjoyed this production of the Real Firm Podcast.
I tip my hat to you, lady. And Jamie, we love you, Jamie. We idolize you.